Have you heard of Just Because books? They're the brainchild of Susan at Susan Taylor Brown, and I've made a couple and I thought I'd love to show them to you. This is so chunky and soft. Oh, don't you just love them? So if you don't know what a Just Because book is, I will leave the link to Susan Taylor Brown in my description box because she was the one that started these off, and they are the most fun. This is one of the projects that I want to do, and will be in the poll that's going to be coming up in the community post. But I wanted you to know what a Just Because book was before we did the vote. Okay, so I thought I might give you some sort of idea. Now, obviously, it's just a fabric book. It's all fabric. And this was the cover. And one piece of 8 by 4, probably not 4, 3.5. And just lots of bits stitched down. I've got scraps here. I've got a little bead. Just some netting, ruffles. And that's what a Just Because book is. You just put things down just because. So I'm going to take you through it. And as you can see, a little cluster here. I think somebody also asked me, what do I do with all the clusters? And this is what I do. If I don't put them in my junk journals, they go in these sort of books. And this was a doily that I found, and I just loved it. So I've just stitched it in. Tried to do some writing. This was when I could not do proper stitching. So I love keeping these because it shows me how far I've come. And again, more clusters here, just piled up on top of each other. Buttons, big flowery voile, another cluster, beautiful little printed fabric piece with a flower on. And I've just edged it, put some lace on, added a button. You can do whatever you like. This is a lovely piece of vintage doily. Another cluster, bit of a ruffle. This was just stamped onto some fabric. This is a stamp that I've got. Another cluster, and a cluster that just flips up. Why not? Why not? Just because. Because I wanted to. This is just more clusters, lace. Honestly, these are all one piece. This is the centre. So they all are. There's 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3. No, 5. 5. And they're all that size. And then I just sewed them down the middle. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just having some fun. See, flowers, buttons. Using up scraps. Look at that cute little button. Housework won't kill you, but why take the chance? I like that. This was me practicing my stitching. My daisies, stem stitch. Oh no, I don't think that's even stem stitch. I didn't even know what stem stitch was then. We should put the date on this. I could go back into my videos and have a look. Another stamp and some couching. Just stitching bow on there. Another one of my stamps that I've just stitched on. Beads dangling. So if I say, do you want me to do a Just Because book, this is probably along the lines. See, just little flips like you would in a journal. This one I've made that I've put a net over the top and couch this down. Little heart button. Lovely little window. So this was a stamped image that I actually stitched onto, because you can do that as well. And this one's all sort of browns. And another cluster. So that was that one. So that, I think, was probably my first one. Didn't really know what I was doing. I was just grabbing all my scraps and putting them together. Then Susan did a black and white. And this is what I made for my black and white. Now, this was supposed to fold over like this. Only I made it too chunky and it doesn't. I mean, guys, it's just so scrumptious to hold. So made from a sort of wool chenille, really, really soft fabric, but very frayable. So I went all the way around the outside and backed it onto this quilted fabric. This is what made it really chunky. An awful blanket stitch, but I didn't care. I was having fun, and that was the main thing. So everything black and white in this book, which was so much fun. I loved having this prompt of let's do black and white. And I found this and I thought this has to go in. So that was just an old patch that I found. Black and white. I should have put it on the cover, but I think I'd already done that. And I never take things apart because, you know, it's done for a reason. Big flappy tag on there. Right. You may be quite surprised at some of this. This is another one of the clusters. I've got beads dangling. Got a big bead in the middle. Some straight stitching. This is a little cluster up here. Just a doily on there. Just the centre of it. I think I've cut this out of like the centre. This was different types of grey of this chenille stuff that I've got. They were samples from somewhere. Little square samples. I think they were about that big. I cut them up, stitched them down, and then I just went round with some straight stitching. Oh, this one's really cute. I made a flower with a bit of doily, some leaves. Buttons were leaves, chain stitch up there, and a sort of turkey work bit. And in here is a little heart. How's that? How cute is that? With love, it says. And I made a little pocket to put it in, because you can do that. So cute. Over the page, we have a fabric, very fine fabric flip, and I've just got some scrappy ends of grey threads, and stitched them down in a heart shape, and I've got a little bead dangling at the top, and that flips out. You can see all the stitches, and I've just got this dangling in the middle because I thought it was funny. So I've got some cards attached in this corner. So this page has actually got some paper on it inside, so it makes it a bit stiffer. Don't know why, just felt like doing it. And you could even tuck something in there if you wanted to. Found this in another bit of my stash where you've got some writing, think outside the box, which I think we do when we do this. And black and white thread, and this was the paper that I just stitched all this on. Don't know, just did. I love this page. A lovely cluster. I think I made this while I was watching one of Susan's videos, and I made a window in my page, put some net on the back, but you can still see through it to the next page. Made it like a window, and of course there's a window on the other side. Got some buttons, bit of lace down here, another button flower there, and there's a clock. And I thought this looked like a chessboard, so I tried to draw some chess pieces. And you can see that everything dangles from one side. Pages aren't the same size, they're all different sizes. They are actually made from felt, which is really quite difficult to stitch on, I have to say. But I did sew this in. This is paper, and I did sew it on. And then I stitched this on with wool. And this sticks out from the other side because this page is quite big. got a cat. I have just a jumble of stuff all over the page. I just love it, love it. And this one, another cluster here, little mini flip out. And behind there is a heart that I've then put in a cage for some reason. Maybe I was having one of them days. I love that cluster. And on the back, I just put this on. This was out of a magazine. It said the future, the past. And I just stitched it down. So that is a Just Because book. Well, these are Just Because books. It was certainly fun for me going back and seeing how my stitching used to be. Especially this one. Goodness me. I think I'm definitely getting better. Definitely getting better. So, let me know, guys. I will see you soon. Bye for now.